Welcome to the third video for representing data. This video is going to be focusing on how we can measure various centres of the data and also how we can measure the spread of that data. There's three words that we're going to be focusing on which describe the measure of the centre of the data, and those three words are mean, median and mode. They all begin with M. So we're going to have to focus on those words fairly closely and work out some ways that we can remember which M word relates to which centre of the data. The first M word, the mean, is the one that you're probably most familiar with. The mean is another word for finding the average of a set of data. And hopefully by now you would know that finding the average happens when we add all of the values together in that set of data, and then we divide them by the number of values that we found in the data. Now you'll see here we have a rule that says the mean is equal to the total of all of the values over or divided by the number of values. So that's one of our key words for today. An example where we might be interested in finding the average or the mean, we could have a look at a sporting example here and perhaps be focusing on the average number of runs that a particular cricketer scored or a batsman scored in a season of cricket matches. The selectors of the teams might be deciding whether that particular batsman is worthy of a place in that team or whether he should be dropped further down the order based on his batting average. The second M word that we're focusing on is the median. The median is the middle value, and we're talking about the middle value once the set of data has been written in order. That's very important. We are looking for the middle value once all of the data has been ordered. Now, a real life example of where the median is used a lot is with regards to real estate. Real estate agents often talk about the median house price in a particular suburb, and that's quite important to know when you're buying a house to find out whether you can actually afford the houses that are for sale in a particular suburb. The third M word today is the mode, and the mode is the value which actually occurs the most. It is actually possible to have more than one mode in a set of data. It's even possible to have no mode at all, and we'll have a look at some examples like that in a moment. An example of where the mode is important is if we are ordering stock, for example, for a shop. The mode is really very important because it tells you which items or sizes that you need to order the most of. Okay, so there are three M words: mode, we've just talked about, median, the middle value, and mean, or the average, which describe the centre of the data. We're now going to have a look at another word. This one is going to be looking at how far apart the data is spread. In this particular case, we're looking at the word the range. And the range describes the measure of spread of the data and is found by subtracting the lowest value from the highest value. And there you can see we've written in blue that the range is equal to the highest value minus the lowest value. An example of where the range is important, again, think about working in a shop, for example the uniform shop, and when ordering clothing for that shop it would be quite handy to have an idea of the shortest and tallest person so that you can be ordering the correct range of sizes for the stock that your students need, particularly with, say, tracksuit pants, things like that. Alright, we're going to have a look at an example now where we are required to find the mean, the median, the mode and the range for a set of data. So let's have a look at that data now. Before I go any further with this example, we can see that there's quite a variety of numbers there, but I'm going to do a quick count up to see how many numbers there are, because that's going to have some impact on how I proceed through this question. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pieces of data here. Alright, now the first thing I'm going to find is the mean, and just a quick reminder that the mean is equal to the total of the values divided by the number of values that we have. So we're going to do some quick calculations here. I'm going to show you how to set this out. We're going to add all of these values together, and I think we just said before that there were 11 of them. So there's my 11 values, and then I'm going to divide those by the number of values that we had. In this case it was 11. Now in this topic you will be able to use your calculator now, but you will still need to set your questions out as I've got here. So you might like to grab your calculator now as you are doing this question. We do need to add all of these values together. I would be suggesting that you use your brackets on your calculator to add up all of the numbers in the numerator and then divide it by 11. What you will have, hopefully, is a calculation where we have the top value being equal to 53 divided by 11. You'll grab your calculator again, divide that, and we'll have an answer of 4.8. So the mean or average in this set of data is 4.8. The next thing we're going to have a look at is the median. Now, the median is the middle set or the middle number once we have written them in order. So don't try and do it without writing them in order. That's a recipe for disaster. So firstly I'm going to write the numbers in order. We've got a 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm just going to have a quick count, make sure I've still got 11 values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Great. Now you've probably already noticed that 11 is an odd number, and that's quite simple for us to find the middle number. The middle number will be the sixth value. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in this case the median is equal to 5. A couple of things I want you to note here is that we have the same number of numbers before that number as we do afterwards. So in this case we have 5 numbers before and 5 numbers after. So that's another quick way of checking that you have found the median value. The third one that we're going to be looking at is the mode. And now that we've written them in order, it's quite easy to see which value or values are occurring the most. So in this case we can see that we have 1, 2, 3 4s and we have 1, 2, 3 5s. So in this case we have more than one mode. We have a mode of 4 and a mode of 5. The final thing we've been asked to find is the range, and we know that the range is the highest value, which in this case is 8, minus the smallest value, which is 2. So we can see our range is 6. Again, it's very easy to find the range once you have written them in order from smallest to largest. Okay, so there's our mean, median, mode and range for these examples. It'd be a very good idea to copy this example down into your book now. Okay, let's have a look at our final example for today. Again, we're going to be asked to find the mean, median, mode and range for the set of data below. And here's our set of data. Now, again, I'm going to ask you just very quickly to count how many pieces of data we have here. And you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 this time. So 10 pieces of data. That will come into play in a moment when we find, of course, our mean and also when we find the median. Alright, so let's begin with the mean. Remember that that's the total of the values divided by the number of values, which we know is 10. So again, quickly, I'm going to be writing all of those values and adding them together. So there's all my values, and I'm going to be dividing by however many numbers I counted up just a moment ago, which in this case was 10. Alright, so you can grab your calculator and add up the top values if you like. You could probably do it in your head, but in this case we've got 58, and we're going to be dividing that by 10. We probably don't really need our calculator to work out 58 divided by 10, because we should know that that's equal to 5.8. Remember, when we're dividing by 10 we move the decimal point one place to the left. So there is our mean, or our average as we like to call it. We're now going to have a look at the median, and remember the median is the middle value once we've written them in order. So our job first is to carefully write these in order. So we've got a 2, another 2, a 3, a 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 9, and 9. Just checking that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 values. Okay, now when we have an even number of numbers, which is what we do here, we've got 10 numbers, it's not possible to find the exact middle of an even number of numbers. It will fall somewhere in between the 5th and the 6th value. So in this case, it will fall somewhere in between these two numbers. Again, just checking, I've got 4 numbers before these two and 4 numbers after, so I know that I have found the middle 2 values. My job now is to find the middle of 5 and 7. It's not hard, it's 6, but if it was 2 numbers that were a little bit more difficult to find the middle of, then I would have to average those 2 numbers by adding them together and then dividing them by 2, which again gives me 12 divided by 2, which is 6. So in this case, the median is 6. Our mode, again, once we have written them in order, very easy to see which one's happening the most. In this case, it is the number 9. It occurs 3 times. The range, hopefully you've remembered by now, the range is the biggest number minus the smallest number, which in this case is 9, take away 2. Of course, that is 7 for our range today. So there's our second example, which you should be copying down and making some good notes on, or any reminders, particularly about how to find the median when you have an even number of numbers. Okay, so your last thing to do for today, of course, is to write a brief summary on what the focus of today's video was on. So in your own words, a couple of sentences. You might like to talk about the 3 keywords related to the centre of our data, and of course our 1 keyword related to the range or the spread of the data. And then of course you've got an opportunity there at the bottom to write down your own question, or a question where you perhaps need some clarification on something. Have those ready and take them into your next class so that you can begin work on the next exercise related to measure of centre and spread. Bye for now.